So I looked in the box that I got the other day in a garage, and I found a real Frankenstein version of a Commodore 64C. As you're going to see on the desk, I'll show you more in detail later, but this one has no keycaps, so I will attempt to fix, and I'll also open it up and see what's inside. I haven't looked at this Commodore in a very long time, so it could be very unexpected what we find in there. So as you can see, there are no keys or keycaps on this Commodore. So, but let's switch it on. I've already connected all the cables, and let's see what happens on the screen when I switch it on. As you can see, it's actually booting, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Hopefully, from the looks of it. I seem to remember that this one was working. It just needed keycaps for it to be functional, but let's have a look and see what we find inside there when we open it up. So let's open this up. I see it's just because there are no springs in them, all the keys are pressing at the same time, so you'll get random display on the screen. So let me open up this keyboard. Looks like there are no, absolutely no screws in it. I see there's also no power light LED, so we'll see what we can do about that. So at least the spacebar spacer is in there, so we can reuse that. Let's have a look at this machine. I'll take the keyboard off. Yes, I seem to recall this version. It is a real Frankenstein. Just about everything has been replaced on this one. As you can see, there's even keyboard 3D printed holders in place to keep the keyboard up from not touching the keyboard. So I have used them before, and they are actually quite nice. I remember doing this for this one. It's got a replacement GAL PLA right there. I've built a couple of them, and they seem to work very nice. It's also got the character ROM, kernel, and the basic ROM replaced at some time. All the memory seems to be not socketed, although there are different types of memory in there, which is very odd, but it seems to be booting. There's also no SID in there. And of course, the elephant in the room is the RF replacement module from the retro channel. I think this is an early version of it, but that gives you S-video and audio output. And if you have Pico, I think you can get stereo sound from it as well. And it's got the reset switch connected as well. I recall doing that. So what are we going to do with this one? I think I've seen a project where you can print 3D keycaps. I'm going to print some 3D keycaps with my 3D printer and see if we can get the keyboard keying. If you go to Thingiverse, and I'll paste this URL in down at the comments for you, then you can get to it. You will find the project that is called Commodore 64 C64 Keycaps with a CBM stem. That is the one with a cross that you will need for the Commodore C64C keyboard. And as you can see,
the whole project is here, and it will give you the print settings that you can use to print this. You can print it 0.1. I just printed it 0.4 and was good enough for me. 0.1 would print for a very long time, I would think. But it's up to you how good quality keycap you want. If you scroll through here, you will get different pictures of what it looks like. And yeah, I mean, you can just print this or get PCBWay to print this for you, or whoever you want to print this for you. And I will attempt printing them, and then we get back assembling the keyboard and see how that goes.
So as you can see, I have printed the keycaps on my 3D printer, and I've placed them in a sequence they should go on. So they came out really nice. So as you can see in front, it's got the special character set in front, and the alphabetic character printed, like indented on top of the keycap. So, and this will fit in any Commodore with the cross or star, whatever you want to call them, stems. So let's fit them to my keyboard and see how that goes. So what I'm going to attempt to do is fit the spacebar first. As you can see, it comes with some 3D printed stems as well, if you don't have any. I didn't have, so it will just be a matter of trying to fit them to the spacer, and that is normally tricky, so bear with me. I'll try and do that. The one side goes into a hole in the bottom, and the other side goes into the other hole. Luckily, if you can get that in. Yeah, I think that is in. As you can see, slides in. Now all you need to do is add a spring. If you don't have springs, there are plenty available on for example, AliExpress, and you can just buy a whole lot and use them. So let's see if this will actually work. It's quite tricky with a spring. There you go. And the spacer works well. That's our first key. So let's start on the top and just do one key at a time. I've printed mine in white PLA, but I think probably would be better if you use different color, which shows off the alphabetic characters a bit better than the white. It's a bit hard to see the characters, but I suppose you can also maybe get some decals and stick them on top there if you want. They seem to work pretty good. So let me do the rest of them. I will fast forward this, and I'm not going to do every single key and bore you to death. So I will do this and see you later. And that is the top row now done. Let's do the second row. Second row is done. The caps lock keycap doesn't have a spring, so you just put it straight on the stem like that. And that is the whole keyboard fitted. So just the function keys left. Let's do them. And there you go. I'm just going to close up the keyboard case just to make it look a bit more, a little better. Let's see if it will actually work. I'm going to switch it on now. So let me see if this will work. Let's try every character. It seems to be working perfectly. And it doesn't feel any different than a normal key. Let's try the function keys. They all seem to be working. That is really awesome. So now at least I have another functional and working Commodore, and that's really good. I think that is a job well done. I think I just need the LED for the power, then I can call this a success.